Well, here it is into January 2023, and I think the last time I made a video where I went around the whole shop and showed what we did in house here in Virginia, probably was 2017 when I started the YouTube channel. So we're gonna go around the shop. Shop's a mess, but I'm gonna show so everybody knows what pieces of equipment I have here, which ones I utilize and which ones I don't, and what actually goes on here and actually what doesn't go on here. Uh, so this is the 6th year that Stevie's Automotive has been in existence. Um, the business is healthy, and I have more work than I can shake a stick at, and I'm very thankful for all of my customers. One of the things I used to catapult the business was social media, and I'm still out there, but I'm not out there in the presence that I was early on. Social media is good and social media is bad, but it's very good for getting out there. Since I've been here about 6 years now, I mean, it's pretty obvious that the business is pretty healthy, and I'm not um, just going to fall off the face of the earth. The work product and stuff like that, we have issues sometimes, but most of the time things turn out pretty good. So, just to clarify a few things, I got a lot of my training from Richard Clark, and Richard Clark is a most excellent mentor. And he opened his shop to me, and he let me use all of his machines. He pretty much turned me loose on every machine he had after he trained me, except for the line boring and the line honing. And I used him for the first couple of years. And by meaning using him, I don't mean that I didn't pay for the services of the shop, because I did. But I got the education as well, the hands-on, and that was priceless. And he was instrumental in directing me to find some of my equipment, which I have today and I use. So after about the first couple of years, I got my own equipment. I got my own cap grinder, my own rod hone, my own Bridgeport, and my own lathe. Shortly after that, I bought a used Berco BT6 line boring machine with no tool sharpening fixture and no information, and had to figure that out. And then I bought a Turner Technologies crankshaft balancing machine that mounts to the Bridgeport, the mill. And then in 2020, we acquired the Dynacom dynos, which probably was my worst investment to date. I thought that the hub dynos were going to be a game changer, and they're not. They just take a lot of time to set up, and I'm getting old, and they're heavy, and I haven't used them in over a year. I had a little bit of problem with them, but we worked with Dynacom, and I think we got them straightened out, but not sure if I'm ever going to dabble in dynos right now. They're just sucking money off the bottom line every month, but maybe someday I'll get back to them. So, that being said, what I do here in Virginia is I do my cap work, cap grinding for rods to hone them, to make them small. I do my cap work for my line bores and line hones. I make them smaller, and then I farm out the line honing. But I do some line boring here on the Berco BT6. I do all my balancing in Virginia. I have the balancing scale, the bob weights, all the drill bits, all that good stuff. I have a lathe behind me, which the lathe lets me polish crankshafts. It lets me polish camshafts. It lets me, that knurling on the cranks that's really sharp. It lets me, smooth that down a little bit. It lets me do a lot of machining on transmission parts. And then I have as somebody's calling over there, I've got the Berco BT6, which I had some special blocks made and a special bar made, and Clark was instrumental in helping me with that stuff. And I've done that. Over there in the Bridgeport is used for fitting caps. It's used for machining caps for girdles when I was doing a lot of girdles. I don't really do those anymore. Spot facing timing covers. There's a lot of processes that a Bridgeport is good for, just general machining. But what I don't do here is I don't do boring of blocks. I don't do decking of blocks. I don't do line honing of blocks. I don't do valve jobs here, but I do valve train setup. So no valve jobs, no no guides, nothing like that, no pressure testing. That's all subbed out. But I don't really have one place that I use. I reach far as now as North Carolina, Charlotte, almost South Carolina for some work, and then I have a couple that are local in Virginia, and then I have another one that's about 3 hours from here in Virginia, and then I have another place that's up in Northeast that I've started using too. So good machine work's hard to find, and I will go where it takes to find it, and I will also understand that you can't do it all yourself, because this is not just a engine facility. It's a car facility. I do transmissions, I do rear ends, I do electrical, I do tuning. So that's a little bit about what we do. I'm going to cut this video short because it's getting long, and I'm going to come back and you won't see my pretty face, and we'll go ahead and tour the shop. Shop's a mess, but we'll tour it.